G'day friends, welcome to our 2022 World Card Making Day. I'm Vicky Wright, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, Australia. So you've probably seen Annette's lovely make and take by now. If you haven't, it'll be here on the group forever anyhow. So I'm number 2 on the list today or tonight, and I'm the last one on the list. So we'll start again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Okay, so if you can't watch them now, then as I said, all the recordings will be available in the group for you to watch when you're ready. Okay, so today my make and take is all about the fun, I suppose you'd call it quirky, Butterfly Kisses suite on page 36, 37 I think of the annual catalogue. I don't really have it here with me at the moment. So what we're going to do is, as I said, mine is the Butterfly Suites, Butterfly Kisses. So we're going to be using bits and pieces, well, one sheet of the paper. Okay, you get 12 different designs. I'll just show you, and I will be honest and say that I wasn't too sure about this paper because it was a bit out there and bright for me. But when that happens to me, I will look at the opposite side and see what I can use there. And I quite like the opposite sides as well. Okay. So that's our paper we're going to be using, and we're going to be using this side. This is all I've got left of this one. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using. Now you would have got all your measurements if you wanted to stamp along with me in our group in the last couple of days. So if you don't have the suite or the stamp set or anything, use what you got in your stash. So this is our stamp set we're going to be using. Sorry, the light's on reflecting off here, and I'm hoping that it's not too dark because it's overcast when I'm doing this recording. And then we're going to be using the dies to create to die cut our butterflies. Okie dokie. So what I've got is a piece of Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, a piece of basic white, a big piece of basic white, only because I'm going to do the inside at the same time. And we've got a scrap piece of basic white to die cut our shapes. Okie dokie. Oh, and of course, we can't forget our piece of DSP. Now, for those of you that know me, I love chopping our DSP, and I love chopping it into pieces and putting it on a card, like layering it on a card. So what we're going to do is bring in our paper trimmer, and we're going to chop this long ways. I'm just randomly going to chop this. So this is our 5-inch by 3 inches, I think it is, piece of paper. Our piece of DSP, so the 5 inches is about 12.7 by 3 is 7.6. So I'm just going to chop this, say about 1.5 inches. I can see this. Okay. And then I'm going to chop about 1 inch off from the end, the right hand side. Okie dokie, and that's it. So that's one piece. So I'll just put that aside, just like that. I want to keep my patterns together. Now you can chop your piece of paper any way, any measurement you like. I'm just randomly doing it. So I want to do the same thing with this piece, but I'm going to chop from the other direction, and I'm still going to do the 1 inch or 2.5, so that I've now got 4 pieces. Okie dokie. And that's going to be what we're going to work with. So we'll just put that aside. And just sit down here. I just want to make sure I've got the right piece. Now, we're going to actually stick the DSP to the basic white, okay? In saying that, we want to leave a small edge around all the pieces. Now, as I said, in saying that, I'm not very good at keeping things straight, so I always have a spare piece, layer piece, just in case. But fingers crossed, we sort of fluke this. So I'm just going to layer that down there like that. Because what's going to happen, now that, don't panic too much if it's too wide. So we're just going to arrange that like that. That's how it's going to be. Okay. And we're just going to put that like that. I'll just bring that down a little bit so that I can see it. Now, I'm one for just having a narrow border, but you can have it as wide as you like. So I might put this piece in next. Whoops, whoops. So don't be scared to chop your DSP. It gives a totally different look. I'm just rubbing the glue off here so I don't get it on my cardstock. And it can add a little bit of interest to your card. All you've got to remember is to chop your DSP. I'll turn this upside down. Chop your DSP just a little bit shorter and longer than the actual layer that you're going to stick it on. Okay, I hope that's straight. Yeah, it's pretty straight. I might be going to fluke this. And then we'll just fill in the gap there like that. Turn that on the side so I can see whether it's straight or not. And that looks pretty good to me, except this end. So what we're going to do is grab our trimmer and we're just going to trim a little bit of the side. I always think it's better to have it longer than shorter. Okay, and it's probably about 1/16 of an inch, and that's it. Now I've amazed myself actually, because that is quite straight. I'll let you in on a little secret. If you find that it's not straight and you want it straight, you know, sort of thing, all I do is trim around the outside. Okay, even if you trim a little bit of your DSP, and then layer it onto another piece of Whisper White or cardstock, and you'll have the edge around the outside as well as the inside. Okay. Another secret too, with when I layer my DSP, I always make sure my patterns match up. Now I know there's what's the word? Times when it's not going to match up, but that's okay. Don't stress about that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this to a piece of Parakeet Party. When I'm working with DSP and cardstock, I always take my colours from the DSP. I think you can't go wrong there, especially if you're not sure. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit so I know it's nice and straight and even. That's it there. Okay, then I'm going to bring in a piece of, just bear with me, I'll just get my bone folder. I always think you've got everything. Orchid Oasis. This colour isn't, or is it? Yes, I think it is. Okay, so I was going to say this colour isn't in the pack, but I think it is. I think it's got all the colours of the new in colours. And we're just going to burnish that down the middle. I've already pre-scored that. Okay. Then what we're going to do is stick that to that. And I quite like those colours actually. I didn't know how they'd go. I never know how they work until you sort of finish. You have something in your head and how it will look. But sometimes it doesn't work out, and then sometimes we might just fluke it. There you go. So that's that. So while we're here, I've grabbed a piece of leftover DSP. I'm just going to put a little bit down here. Bring in our envelope. And we're just going to stick it down the side. Now you could stamp your envelope, or you could grab another piece of DSP and put it over the flap. But in this case, sorry, I just had to grab my scissors. But in this case, we're just going to use DSP. And I'm just going to chop the excess off, just like that. Okay, then we'll do the inside as well. So again, I've chopped another piece of DSP, and it's just a little bit wider. I think I had a strip left over and I've just chopped it, randomly chopped it. I like to just randomly chop. Now I could go across there, but because my triangles are going up and down, I'm going to stick it up and down, and we'll chop off the excess. Okay. Now also too, we haven't announced it, but after me, I'll be posting a sketch layout that you can have a play with and upload it to the album in our group. Just a little bit extra. Gave myself a fright then. I didn't think I had it up right. So all the make and takes will have their own album, and when you create the your make and take, all you have to do is post it to the album, okay? Whatever make and take it is. I'm just going to take off the excess glue that I've got. It's on my sheet of paper. Okay. There you are. That's basically our card done now. So then what we're going to do is a sentiment. I'm not very organised, am I? I just have to grab a block. And we're going to grab, I think we'll use Sending Good Vibes. Okay. Not that one. What did I say? Sending Good Vibes. This one. So we're just going to line this up. Now, while I think of it, your DSP, you can chop that any way you like, but I thought it'd be different to just chop it just like that. I have got another one that I'll show you at the end of how I've done it. Same sort of layout, but different. Same, different. Okay. And we're gonna grab a scrap of basic white and our Parakeet Party. Now I always practice on scrap paper first, and I'm just going to bring that down just a little bit, so it might be out of, and I'm hoping that's wide enough. Yep. My ink is very juicy, so I'll just grab some more paper, cardstock, and we might try that again. I have taken some ink off the ink pad, but obviously it's still juicy loosey. I might just clean that a bit, just bear with me. That might be better. Murphy's Law, things never work out when you're actually doing live. or pre-recorded in this case. So I'll just very gently that's better, but I'll clean it once more. Okay, let's cross our fingers, eh? Still not happy with that, but that'll do. Might add a little bit of interest to our card. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, change it over to this one, it's a better one. I'm just going to angle this off here slightly. Just like that. Now I've die cut a couple of butterflies with the dies, and I've just used those two here. Okay, those two dies, but I'm not sure whether we'll use both. Yeah, we could use both. That's the case. I'm going to make this straight now. Hope that's straight. And I'm going to take it over to that edge. And I'll chop a little bit off this side. I might bring it back to the DSP edge, I think. That's better. So let's pop this up, eh? Grab some dimensionals. Taking the sticky lids off. Pop this down. I'll just bring this down here so I know I get it straight. There you go. So that's our sentiment. And we'll put that just up there like that. So I'll just grab a little bit of adhesive. I'm just playing because I'm not too sure. Okay, let's put a little bit of dimensional along the top. Just to pop the top bit up. Take the sticky lid off. That's better. Stick that down just like that, and we'll add a little bit of glue at the top of this one, and we'll add a mini along the bottom of this one, and pop it up probably about there, making sure that it's stuck down in the middle. Just like that. Then what we're going to do is grab some fun flower resin shapes. Now these go with the sweet, and I think, where's my thingamajig? Here it is. I think we will pop in maybe this colour. No. Maybe this colour. No. Maybe this colour. One. This colour is Parakeet Party. So you've got all the colours here that match the DSP. I'll put one there. Put this away so I don't lose them. And what I think we might do just to finish it off is grab some twine, and we will use, and of course it's right at the back, this is the 22-24 in colours, okay, and we're just going to use the Parakeet Party piece, and I'm just going to do a small bow. I don't know how this will look yet, but we can try. And I'm just going to grab scissors again. Oh. Sorry. We're just going to chop that off. Get a little mini glue dot. Put on the back of our bow. Whoops. God, I'm all fingers. And stick it probably about there. And that is our finished card. Very simple, very easy, nothing too hard about it. The only decision you really have to make is how to chop your DSP. That's all. And I just wanted the DSP to basically be the showcase of the card. Okay, so that's it, and that's our inside. So that's the card for today. That's my first make and take. But as I said, I did another one. I wasn't too sure how I liked this because I did it at night and I don't craft at night because I can't see properly. So that's the card I did last night, and I've actually done the same thing, except I chopped a long piece of DSP into two, then I chopped each piece of the two pieces into pieces again, so I had 4 pieces for each, basically 8 pieces, okay, if that makes sense. So that it was layered onto fresh freesia, then to basic white, and then to a Starry Sky card base. The sentiment is fresh freesia. Now the butterflies are the same butterflies as this one here, and it's been die cut with the Parakeet Party glimmer paper. Okay, I quite like it. It's it goes from light to the dark. So this is more dark, and this is one here is more light. And I just haven't taken that piece out there yet. So that just gives you 2 options of your DSP, okay? Now, while we're here, I thought I'd share with you a couple more cards that I've done, created with the same sweet butterfly kisses. I'm just taking them out of their bag so you don't get the reflection. So that's one, and that opens like that. Bit of a fun fold, okay? And then that's another one. This was a sketch that we did a couple of weeks ago, and it's using the same layout, but with this one I did a bit of a fun fold. Still using the same layout, and it's still using the Butterfly Kisses DSP. I mean Butterfly Kisses Suite. Okay, so they're those 2, and then there's those 2 showing you how to chop your DSP different ways. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy our make and takes throughout the day, tomorrow and tonight. Okay, thanks a lot, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks. Enjoy your night or your day, wherever you may be. Okay, see ya. Hooray.